where the brightest minds across all industries will gather. Where the most cutting-edge and innovative solutions are developed for everyone. Transforming traditional businesses through innovation. Improving and developing the way people learn, live, work, play. Predicting and solving global challenges. And bringing the world closer and forward in a sustainable and harmonious way. This is the future. This is now. This is beyond.
Hi, welcome to Beyond Expo. My name is Jason Ho, the co-founder of Beyond. And this is our first annual tech event in Macau. We know that with the travel restriction, a lot of you couldn't join us on site this year. But I'm still glad that you guys could join us online today. In order to provide you with more content, latest trends, industry insights, we've extended our event from 3 days to a month long. We start with our virtual opening today, following with our virtual panels. And we will end our event on December 2nd to the 4th in Macau. We built this platform because we want to show you the latest technology in different industries, such as in healthcare, infrastructures, in smart city and living, and sustainability. We believe these technology solutions and products, not only could they transform traditional businesses, it should also solve global challenges. This year, we have more than 500 companies joining us on site, ranging from Fortune 500 companies, scale-ups, and global research institutes to VCs and PEs. We want to promote not only cross-border, but cross-industry collaboration as well. Some of you might not know much about Macau. Macau is a special administrative region of China, which is same as Hong Kong. Macau is well known for its entertainment industry. That is why it is called the Las Vegas of Asia. Besides the entertainment, we believe Macau is the rising spot for technology innovations. Being part of the Greater Bay Area, that also includes Hong Kong and 9 cities in Guangdong province, such as Shenzhen and Guangzhou. With the massive market size, huge populations, 3 legal systems, 3 different currencies, this area is said to be one of the most vibrant areas in Asia for technology innovations and international collaborations. Throughout this virtual opening, I'll show you sneak peeks of Macau, and we'll let you explore more when you come join us on site. For today's opening, we are very honored to have 8 speakers from around the globe to talk about what's next. Without further ado, here's our first speaker of the day, Dr. Xiao Song. He is the Global Executive Vice President of Siemens, and also the President and CEO of Siemens Greater China. Dr. Xiao, please.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to address the opening plenary of Beyond International Technology Innovation Expo. Humanity is facing huge challenges: the ongoing pandemic, urbanization, globalization, demographic change, and of course, climate change. To master these challenges, we need to unlock the potential of digitalization and transform the backbone of our economies. I do believe digital transformation is imperative for all markets, industries, and societies to achieve high-quality growth, carbon neutrality, and also resilience. What's next? The potential of digitalization is huge. Let's take public transportation. Fully automated signaling technology can increase capacity by 20% and reduce energy consumption by 35% without adding any infrastructure. In industry, 60% of manufacturing tasks can be automated and digitalized, meaning we can do more with less. This is all about connecting the real and digital worlds creating a digital twin of your products and the manufacturing process to improve quality, productivity, environmental efficiency, and also shorten time to market. Talking about smart cities, for example, commercial buildings, digital technologies can achieve a saving potential of up to 20% in operation and maintenance. Buildings can connect, learn, and benefit from each other. For example, at Expo 2020, 140 buildings are connected by a digital platform which analyzes 200,000 data points in almost real time to optimize energy consumption, lighting, cooling, and fire safety. This can be a blueprint for sustainable smart cities. As the economic cooperation link between China and Portuguese-speaking countries and a key region of Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area, Macau is gaining importance with an open economy and a better innovation environment. This will support strong digital growth for Macau to grow into a modern international base with global influence. Dear friends, we at Siemens, with our 174-year history, are grateful for the opportunity to grow here in Greater Bay Area. We stand ready to contribute to further sustainable growth. Today, no country or organization can unlock the potential of digital transformation on its own. We have to work very closely and openly together. This will lead to an open ecosystem where everyone brings something in and everyone is able to take more out. Let's join our hands to build an open innovation ecosystem that benefits all. Let's transform the everyday together. Thank you again for the invitation. I wish you a successful conference.
Our next speaker is Ms. Jessica Tan. She is currently the co-CEO and group executive of Ping An Group, overseeing the company's technology and healthcare businesses. In 2021, Jessica was named her World's Magazine's Woman of the Year and ranked 6th on the world's 50 greatest leaders list by the Fortune magazine. Jessica, please.
I think this pandemic has shown that there's lots of opportunities for digitization. It has shown that people are resilient, that digitization actually accelerates what we can do, throughout. From a consumer standpoint, I've always been really amazed how the amount of time we spend on smartphones increases every year. It's reached a peak of more than 7 hours a year last year during COVID, and this year is still above 6 hours a day. It's been increasing at over 30 minutes a year. What does this mean? It means that I think when we see digitization, it's no longer just about e-commerce and buying of normal goods. Everything can be digitized, right? Even professional services, right? So if you take one of the most, heavily regulated, when you think about healthcare, what pandemic has shown, even healthcare can be digitized online. And I think this is a new trend that as you go more and more forward, anything can be made basically online and offline together. I'm actually learning Korean right now with my daughter who's in Singapore and I'm in China, and our Korean teacher is actually from Seoul. Right? And I think such things will transcend boundaries. It used to be that services are actually a good within the country, and now cross-border, it can be done anything. And it's just amazing opportunities, and I think the lines of industries were completely blurred, and there's a lot more opportunities for where it comes from. So digital economy accounts for 38.6% of China's GDP in 2020, right? And that's basically about RMB of 39.2 trillion. Up from 34% and 36.3% in 2018 and 2019 respectively. And what you can see if you look at the digitization trend is that if you think about what the consumption kind of consumer type of digitization I talked about with the professionalized, even the professionalized services, the whole industry needs to be digitized. And if you look at it, many of our core industries, be it healthcare, be it in financial services, be it in real estate and others, actually is not very digitized. And there's a huge opportunity, I think, where technology role plays right now is no longer about the commoditized AI or big data. These are commoditized terms. What the next kind of 5-10 years opportunity is really what we call industrialization of these digitization tools, and how you apply it deep within the industry and dramatically change how they are being constructed. Supply chains will change, how we define traditional industries will change if you can digitize each of the capabilities out and then actually reconstruct them in the ecosystem. And I think that is a completely new opportunity that I think lots of our tech companies that I'm sure at this expo will have an opportunity to participate in. Ping An, we've been working on not just technology transforming our own company, but also how we developed and opened kind of ecosystem growth together with the rest of the participants. And in particular, there are two areas we're really focusing on. One is on the fintech opportunities and one is on the healthcare. On the fintech, we've devoted and created a company called One Connect, which is a special, dedicated fintech company that we've taken our 20 years of fintech technology and then we offer it to the industry, right? As a software, as a solution company. We're hoping that this will accelerate the digitization, transformation within the financial services industry. We're proud to say that we're serving now more than 680 banks, over 100 insurers in China, as well as in 20 countries outside Asia. And I hope very much that one day we'll also be in Macau as well. On the other side, on healthcare, I think there's a lot of opportunities as well. I mentioned in the consumer side, whereby healthcare is also being digitized. But healthcare as an industry is so regulated, the digitization and the amount of spending we're doing it, there's just not enough doctors. And can we use technology to actually improve the productivity and the quality of the doctors and our professionals in this area? And here, we're hoping that models like our Good Doctor. We have another smart healthcare unit, which now serves over 1 million doctors using our AI clinical decision support tools and serving over 32,000 health institutions. Will also be able to help improve the accessibility and the quality of healthcare around the world. We believe technology is exportable. Hopefully, what we have done here successfully in China will be exported to other parts of the region, and in particular, I think Greater Bay region. I'm fortunate that I'm not able to be here in person, but I think that the Greater Bay Area is only at the beginning. There's so much that we can do here, to capture the opportunities within this great region. But right now, there's 3 different jurisdictions, and if you really want to capture these opportunities, and if you were to build, you need to make sure that the standards, the data, the traffic and flow are actually seamless. And to do that, I think technology these days can make sure that everything is interoperable. So we're very excited. We hope that we'll be an integral part of the Greater Bay development area, and we're very happy to contribute to the development of this for everybody.
One of our main goals is to promote the SDG, which is also the main mission of the United Nations. So let's welcome Mr. Siddharth Chatterjee, the UN Resident Coordinator in China.
Greetings, distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to thank the Macau Technology General Association for the opportunity to address the 2021 Beyond International Technology Innovation Expo. On behalf of the United Nations family in China, I congratulate the organizing committee and the co-founders, Mr. Jason Ho and Dr. Gang Lu, for their initiative in raising the question, what's next, and exploring the technologies that are critically needed to address our global challenges. Today's world faces a series of tests in fighting poverty, rising inequalities, the climate crisis, and the COVID-19 pandemic. But the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, adopted by all UN member states in 2015, remains our shared blueprint to achieve a better and a more sustainable future for all, leaving no one behind. At its heart are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, representing a set of interconnected and complex challenges that recognizes that economic growth must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health, education, the participation of women and girls, the potential of young people, all while preserving our oceans and our forests. With less than 10 years remaining to achieve the SDGs in this decade of action, global efforts must accelerate to deliver on the ambitious 2030 agenda, demanding action and innovation from all stakeholders, including governments, individuals, and of course, the private sector. The SDGs are not simply a lofty ideal or the right thing to do, but a formidable instrument for companies, including state-owned and small and medium-sized enterprises, looking to unlock new markets and the longevity of their operations. Corporate and organizational success requires stable economies and vibrant societies with healthy, skilled, and educated workers. Sustainable companies experience increased brand trust and investor support, with consumers today desiring more than just the cheapest goods and services. They demand sustainability and wish to take comfort in knowledge that the goods and services they purchase do not create negative externalities and contribute positively to the world we all inhabit. While legislation and regulation will catch up to companies who fail this test, those that state and prove their credentials in sustainability time and time again will be rewarded in the marketplace. Sustainability is good for humanity and good for business. That's essentially what impact investors look for. Companies here in China and the world are already contributing, offering fresh ideas to make the SDGs their own. More than 14,000 business participants from around 170 countries are aligning their strategies and operations with the SDGs and the 10 principles of the United Nations Global Compact, the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative. Academia and civil society are answering the call, working closely with the UN University Institute in Macau to generate solutions to the 2030 agenda through innovations and frontier technologies. With your support, the United Nations and China stands ready to renew collaboration and multilateralism in new partnerships to achieve the SDGs. I wish you all every success at this very important event. Thank you.
Google is one of the leading technology companies in the world. It's a pleasure to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Scott Beaumont, the president at Google Asia Pacific, to share his vision on technology and opportunities in Asia.
Hello everyone, my name is Scott Beaumont. I'm the president of Google in Asia Pacific. Thank you to Gang Lu and the team for the invitation to speak today, and congratulations on this Beyond event. I'm actually really happy and thrilled to see Asia host such an event at such an important time for technology. The impact of COVID has really been quite remarkable, and from people needing to get the information that they need as quickly and as reliably as possible, to being able to use new services they've not used before to help deliver groceries or keep themselves entertained during COVID, or to small businesses looking for a way to engage with digital skills and find a way to survive. It's clear that technology has been incredibly important to many. And particularly when we look at Asia Pacific, 270 million new people have come online for the first time since COVID began, which is really quite remarkable. And so the key things are to make sure that this technology is accessible, that people have the skills that they need to be able to use these new services. And in fact, we put the partnerships in place behind the scenes, both public and private, to make sure that people know how to use the internet, know how to use these services in a way which suits and serves them. Now, Google's actually been in Asia now for just over 20 years. In fact, we celebrated our 20th anniversary just a few weeks ago. Our first international office was in Tokyo, in Japan. And since that time, clearly we've seen Asia take the lead in a number of really interesting areas, whether that's payments or video or commerce. The influence of Asia can be deeply felt in the technology space. And I think that's just going to increase. I think the new generation coming through is going to create a groundswell in innovation and entrepreneurship. The computer science is here, the market opportunities here, the finances are here. And so for entrepreneurs in the region, there really hasn't been a better time to come to market. And there is significant opportunity, not just through these incredible demographics, but by the fact that the technology itself provides an opportunity for us to be able to create new services for end users, corporate and individuals throughout the region. Now, one of the areas where I'm hoping to see technology take the lead is in climate change. And Google's made a statement that we want to be carbon free by the end of the decade. And we've done that with some nervousness, but some excitement. We're not quite sure everything that needs to happen to get us there. We see some of the steps, but some of the steps will be revealed to us as we continue to progress. But I think it's important that we try. And I think it's important that perhaps we set a standard that others might have the confidence also to follow. And we're going to try and do our part too. We're going to be providing enterprises with the benefit of our cloud technology and our AI and applied AI services behind that to help them get there. We're going to be looking with governments at some of our flood prediction tools, our forest fire prediction tools, as a way of helping governments respond better to crisis. We're going to be looking at, within search and maps, for example, helping to provide consumers with better information to make better choices to enable them to be more climate aware as they think about their day-to-day. And this is an area where I think APAC can lead. And whether it's climate change or whether it's accessibility or whether it's how we deal with language or whether it's any number of the other potential opportunities that exist within the region, I think the future for the Asia region with technology is incredibly bright. Part of that is demographics, part of that is the computer science capability, part of that is the natural positivity and entrepreneurship that I see around the region. But this is a great time to be embarking on the conversation that you're having today at Beyond. I congratulate you on putting the event together and look forward to hearing some of the results of what comes out of the conversation.
Our next speaker is Mr. David Liao, the co-chief executive of HSBC Asia Pacific. He is responsible for leading the implementation of HSBC Group strategy across an Asia Pacific franchise, which happens to be the bank's biggest contributing region. So let's welcome David.
Hello, I'm David Liao, Co-Chief Executive of HSBC Asia Pacific. I'm delighted to join the Beyond Expo conference today. It's been a challenging couple of years. We're all of us here looking, planning, and moving forward. So what's next for us at HSBC? Technology has always been a driver of change. Even before COVID, artificial intelligence, big data, and blockchain, just to name a few, were already revolutionizing the landscape we operate in. Then the pandemic struck. It became very clear that digital transformation was no longer a choice for businesses, but a necessity. COVID-19 triggered a decade's worth of change in just a few short months. The biggest impact, payments, specifically cashless digital payments, is in play. The pandemic accelerated growth of e-commerce. The way people spent their money and the things they spent it on changed radically. An example would be a certain online US retailer's second quarter results in 2020, which recorded 40% year-on-year growth. and boosted by a tripling of grocery sales. And overnight, volumes for food delivery services skyrocketed. Across Southeast Asia, 85% of consumers now use cashless payments, and the digital payments market in Asia Pacific is growing by more than 30% a year. The technology and expectations are changing so fast. You might have been a digital bank yesterday and still be a dinosaur today. So we're running hard to stay in front. It's challenging, but it's also exciting. We're rolling out dozens of new digital products. We even started taking out patents for the first time on the new technology we're developing. But the pace of change creates new complexity for businesses. Organizations, big and small, are trying to figure out how to get ahead of the changes and understand the technologies that can help them. In a post-COVID environment where everyone is a buyer and a seller and a consumer and vendor at the same time, businesses needed a trusted partner in their digital transformation journey in order to help provide end-to-end solutions, implement real-time capabilities for processing transactions and information at scale, gain transparency on transactions, grow the business by having ecosystem linkages connecting them to their buyers or suppliers, and all this while protecting customer data. It's a monumental task, but one that HSBC is well positioned for. We were already deeply invested in digital and real-time payment infrastructure before the pandemic, and we've stepped up the pace and scale of our digital transformation in the months since it hit. We've been working with regulators and investing in real-time payment platforms available in 12 markets across Asia and APIs. We've built applications that help businesses make and collect real-time payments easily and efficiently. This enables companies to quickly transition from a physical to a digital storefront. When COVID struck, we were able to use our digital payment expertise to help our clients adapt quickly. Take KPJ, a Malaysian healthcare company. When the pandemic hit in 2020, KPJ became one of the private hospitals approved to conduct COVID-19 testing in Malaysia. As social distancing practices and movement restrictions set in, KPJ needed to establish safer payment options for patients. Leveraging Malaysia's national real-time payment service, Do It Now, HSBC helped KPJ implement a payment option that enabled real-time, instant, and contactless payments from a patient's bank using a QR code. Also, HSBC is helping delivery service Foodpanda to revolutionize the way it pays its workers. Today, a Foodpanda rider can use the company's app to get paid instantly after finishing a delivery shift. That's money earned straight into their digital pocket, ready to go back into the community and create growth. Real-time payments volumes were up 90% year-on-year in the first 8 months of 2021, and we expect this trend to continue over the next couple of years. So we're pushing on with cutting-edge payments innovations as we move into a post-COVID world. Our challenge is to make them faster, cheaper, and even more secure. Payments now are digital, on demand, and real-time. And by improving the way cash flows into the economy, we're contributing to growth and prosperity. This is the future, and it's now. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dr. William Hasseton, founder and chairman of Access Health International. He's a pioneer in biotechnology, having founded more than a dozen biotechnology companies, ranging from development of cutting-edge pharmaceuticals to new material and fuels. Dr. William, please.
Allow me to thank the organizers of Beyond Expo for inviting me to speak today. I'm very sorry not to be able to join you in Macau. It's a beautiful part of the world which I've had the pleasure of visiting many times. Macau is a particularly fitting locale for this conference, not because of the leading role in the Asian Pacific region it plays in both scientific and technological innovation, but because Macau is in a unique position bridging the United States and China, supporting the expansion of some of the most forward-looking thinking companies in both countries. In my opinion, there's no more exciting time than to be working on science and technology today. Advancements over the past 15 to 20 years have allowed scientists like myself the opportunity to explore new ideas in ways I could not even imagine when I was beginning my career. When I look ahead to the next 15 or 20 years, I see many more opportunities arising. Okay. First, let me say the biological sciences are leading the way in many different fields, not just in health and agriculture and understanding the natural world, but in physics, in chemistry, in nanomaterials. We are learning to manipulate the atomic world the same way life does, i.e. engineering new devices, new products at the molecular level, at the atomic level. That is how life is built, and that is what we are learning. In addition to that, the major advances that are coming are not just from the fields alone, such as chemistry and physics and mathematics. It is a combination of all of them. We have never seen such a flowering of innovation from cross-cultivation, cross-pollination of the different technologies. I expect the next 20 years to be one of enormous innovation, not just in one country, but around the world. One of the most important things about science is collaboration. Science is a universal language spoken by every scientist, no matter where they live. And critical to the progress of science is that uninterrupted communication amongst our leading thinkers. And it's extremely important for young people to travel to different countries, to understand that their language is the language that others speak. I can tell you from my own experience, my early travels to around the world were essential to my understanding of what science is, how it's practiced, and a source of infinite new ideas. But science and technology alone will not get us where we need to be. These past 2 years have shown us the critical importance of strong and dynamic healthcare systems that make the best use of limited pools of resources. Studies have shown us that people living in countries with weak and overburdened healthcare systems suffered much more dramatically than those who did not. Strengthening our healthcare systems and improving their resilience will only become more important in the months to come. That's why I'm so pleased to have had the success that we've had with Access Health International, a group that works on improving the health systems, strengthening health systems worldwide. We consult with the best thinkers everywhere in the world. We study what works the best, and then we help policymakers who have open to innovation adapt those innovations in healthcare reform, healthcare systems, healthcare strengthening, not least of which is financial technology and information technology, fields that have formerly been thought to be foreign from the idea of healthcare service and healthcare delivery. In closing, I'd like to offer a few words of advice. One of the things that at this point in my career I'm interested in is making sure that there are future generations that are dedicated to improving the lives of others. One thing, a book I've written for young people, Science as a Superpower, is intended to inspire them to realize that in science, one person, one mind, can really save the world. My life has been saved by such super scientists. The man who invented penicillin, I was one of the first civilians ever to receive penicillin as a young child. I remember quite well the restrictions in my life that polio imposed, very similar to the restrictions that young people have today, and we all have today as a result of COVID. That changed with two great scientists, one Salk and the other one Sabin. They made a great difference. And today, as we face COVID, it's really important to have the best scientists in the world. And if children's lives will be made better, if young people's lives will be made better, if all of our lives will be made better in this time of COVID, it will be because we have great health systems and great scientists to help save us from what is a new scourge of humanity. So again, I close this by thanking the organizers of Beyond Expo for inviting me to take part in this important event. I look forward to the possibility of joining you in person in the years to come. In the meantime, I send you my best wishes for a fruitful exchange of ideas that will no doubt lead us to new and better opportunities and innovations for the future. Thank you very much.
Mr. Raymond Tay is Nvidia's Vice President of Sales and Marketing for the Asia Pacific region. He's an IT veteran with more than 30 years of experience in the field. Let's welcome Raymond.
Hello, I'm Raymond Tay. I'm responsible for Nvidia's business in the Asia Pacific region. It's a pleasure to meet you at the Beyond Virtual Conference and share with you some of Nvidia's insights. So, what's next? A substantial digital revolution is taking place all over the world. Innovation, agility, and market development are all accelerated by technological advancements. The digital transition will continue. Technology is evolving faster than ever. Advanced technology will continue to change our lives and how we operate, opening up enormous opportunities for businesses worldwide. Many businesses have adopted disruptive technologies and modified their business models. Let me now share some of the exciting innovations at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's purpose is to advance this form of computing called accelerated computing. We are an accelerated computing platform company. AI is a watershed moment for the world. We are in the process of automating intelligence so that we can augment ours. The thing that's really cool is that AI is software that writes itself, and it writes software that no humans can. These software-defined, hardware-accelerated stacks will take advantage of data processing units, or DPUs, to accelerate networking, storage, security, and management applications. DPUs are an essential element of modern data centers. In this model, the data center is the new unit of computing, in which CPUs, GPUs, and DPUs combine into a single computing unit that's fully programmable, AI-enabled, and can deliver greater levels of security, performance, and efficiency. NVIDIA hardware will enable the creation of high-performance 5G RAN and AI applications to manage emerging use cases like robotics manufacturing, autonomous vehicles, drones, and surveillance. AI, and specifically deep learning, has become a vital tool for the production of next-generation automated vehicles, particularly because of the need to recognize and handle the nearly infinite number of scenarios encountered on the road. It is expected that the vehicles of tomorrow will be packed with more technology than any computing system today. NVIDIA's mission is to stay rooted in developing this self-driving technology, known as NVIDIA Drive, to help OEM and Tier 1 partners bring this technology to market. AI requires a whole reinvention of computing, full-stack rethinking, from chips to systems, algorithms, tools, the entire ecosystem. NVIDIA is a full-stack computing company. We love working on extremely hard computing problems that have a great impact on the world. NVIDIA's dedicated to advancing accelerated computing. Enabling developers' success on our platform is core to everything we do. Humans have been exploiting how we perceive the world for thousands of years. We've been hacking our senses to construct virtual realities through music, art, and literature for millennia. Interactivity and the ability to collaborate. Better screens, head-mounted displays like the Oculus Quest, and mixed reality devices like Microsoft's HoloLens are all steps towards fuller immersion. All these pieces will evolve, but the most important one is here already: a high-fidelity simulation of our virtual world to feed the display. Omniverse is a shared virtual 3D world, or worlds that are interactive, immersive, and collaborative. Just as the physical universe is a collection of worlds that are connected in space, the platform that's not tied to any one app or any single place, digital or real. And just as virtual places will be persistent, so will the objects and identities of those moving through them, allowing digital goods and identities to move from one virtual world to another, and even into our world with augmented reality. Those ideas are already being put to work with Nvidia Omniverse, which, simply put, is a platform for connecting 3D worlds into a shared virtual universe. Omniverse is in use across a growing number of industries for projects such as design collaboration and creating digital twins, simulations of real-world buildings and factories. So how does Omniverse work? We can break it down into three big parts. The first is Omniverse Nucleus. It is a database engine that connects users and enables the interchange of 3D assets and scene descriptions. The second part of Omniverse is the composition, rendering, and animation engine, the simulation of the virtual world. The third part is Nvidia Cloud XR, which includes client and server software for streaming extended reality content from open VR applications to Android and Windows devices, allowing users to portal into and out of Omniverse. With Internet of Things, or IoT, spending predicted to hit $1 trillion in 2022, companies are seeing the value of IoT as an investment. That's because every location in which IoT devices are present has the potential to become a data collection site, providing invaluable insights for virtually every industry. With new and more accurate insights, retailers can reduce shrinkage and streamline distribution system processes. Manufacturers can detect visual anomalies on high-speed product lines, and hospitals can provide contact-free patient interactions. Nvidia is powering the next era of computing. In 2006, the creation of our CUDA programming model and data center GPU platform brought parallel processing to general-purpose computing. A powerful new approach to high-performance computing was born. Building an innovation network to support the accelerated growth of startups is a continuous initiative at Nvidia. A great resource for startups is Nvidia Inception. Inception is an accelerated platform for startups. We leverage Nvidia technologies, resources, and innovation networks to support startups at various stages of their journey. Today, over 8,500 Inception startups span the globe, of which China is a strong representation, ranked second in the world and first in non-English speaking countries with over 1,000 startups, 35 plus industries, and more than 40 cities. Our focus is on supporting a global community of innovators to deliver tremendous innovation for the next decades. Join Nvidia Inception and meet our Inception members in Beyond. These are just some of the innovations from Nvidia's lenses, looking into what's next in AI. I would like to thank Beyond for the invitation to speak and the opportunity to present Nvidia's thoughts, and glad to be here to join this wonderful event. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day and wish the event great success. Thank you.
Last but not least, it's my great honor to introduce our special guest, Mr. Terry Guo, who is the founder of Foxconn. Please welcome him to deliver his message on technology innovation in post-pandemic and opportunities in the APAC region. Mr. Guo, please.
大家好，我是郭台铭。首先，我要衷心祝贺2021年 Beyond 国际科技创新博览会在澳门顺利开幕。我在台湾预祝 Beyond 圆满成功。因为新冠疫情的影响，世界各国为此已经持续付出巨大的社会成本，全世界也都面临转型的议题，酝酿展开新的全球化模式。所以在这个关键时刻，澳门将有机会在扮演沟通东西方、连接传统产业和新兴产业的重要角色，再创澳门的历史辉煌。现在已经进入21世纪的第3个10年，可以预见这个10年将是科技进步和创新主导经济增长与发展的10年。我认为亚太地区、中国大陆和两岸3地会是科技发展最有潜力的地区之一，更是引领产业创新科技的重要区域。因此，我们也相信亚太地区更需要一个国际化的科技平台，将亚太创新推向全球，发现和聚集更多全球创新。科技正在影响和变革各种传统产业，科技创新带动世界进步，可以为全球的经济、社会与环境的可持续发展做出贡献。我们正处在面对转型的风口浪尖，创新将为各种产业带来巨大的机会。因为疫情的原因，我本人不可前来澳门参加这次 Beyond 国际科技创新博览会，深为遗憾。我相信 Beyond 国际科技创新博览会将会让世界关注澳门，关注亚洲创新力量，期待能参与下一届盛会，为了美好的未来，与各位一起努力。
Thank you, Mr. Guo. Thank you all of our speakers for the wonderful insights. So this concludes our opening. A huge thanks to our global partners who have been supporting us since day one. We are co-organizing with them to present 18 panels with speakers from around the globe. Please go to our official Beyond Expo website, app, Facebook, Twitter account to check out our latest schedule. Thank you, and see you in Macau.